Hey everybody, happy Wellness Wednesday. Marco Rodriguez coming at you. So today you are in for a treat. Sitting next to me is none other than David Hamilton, the iconic bass player for the local 70s rock band sensation Funky Mungo. Now before we get started, I want to go over a little bit of David's bio so you have a better understanding of who this man is. Now, David is a multi-style professional bassist. He's a cellist, vocalist, composer, and recording artist. He graduated from the University of Texas, El Paso in 1997 with a bachelor's in music education. In addition to the multiple bands that he plays with, he also is the orchestra, choir, and band director at Da Vinci. He's also the music coordinator at Burnham Wood, and he's a state advocate for the fight for charter schools in the state of Texas. In addition to all that, he's also the worship leader at Ridge Methodist Church, where he directs a full praise team. Now, in addition to the classic 70s rock, he also plays a variety of other different styles, including classical, disco, R&B, blues, country, salsa, and many styles of jazz. Now, he's also played in many off-Broadway musicals, in addition to playing in Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, New York, and California. Now, we all know him as the backbone of the solid funk groove rhythm section of the disco tribute band Funky Mungo. But he also plays in a funk blues band called the Sam Barlow Band. Now, get this, he has toured, recorded, and played or shared the stage with the Platters, American Idol star David Archuleta, Casey and the Sunshine Band, the Pointer Sisters, Tower of Power, Donna Summer, the Village People, Sister Sledge, Chicago, Blue Oyster Cult, and Shinedown, just to name a few. And get this, in 2017, he performed at Carnegie Hall. So as far as musicians go, David Hamilton is the real deal. But he's also got a very interesting biohack story, and that's what brings me to him today. So, David, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity to come and interview with you. You are an extremely busy guy. And, you know, I first heard about your biohack story, and I thought, oh my gosh, I really want to spend some time with him and really kind of get to see, because we had a chance to talk a little bit before when we first introduced the biohack concept to you. So tell us what's been going on. Maybe you could share with our audience, how did you first hear about biohacking? We can start there.
Well, I think it's because of one of my students, Seth. I got him when he was like, I think he was 7th or 8th grade. Mm-hmm. And I started, you know, he was part of the special ed department. He had a really severe stutter, and his grades weren't the greatest. And all of a sudden, I started noticing a difference in him, and his grades shot up. His stutter was practically non-existent, and he also his physique and his muscle tone. And I just remember going, "What is this guy doing?" And then so I asked him one day. I said, "Sandy, what's going on?" He goes, "Well, my dad's part of this Life Vantage," and I was like, "Really? I'd like to, get to know some more about this. Maybe it can help me. Maybe help my kids. Maybe it can help my family and my mom and dad." And so that's when he, I met you because of concerts, and then you're one. You come to our shows, and I see you in front row right there, rocking out,
rocking and roll.
And so then that's when you told me about it, and I said, well, I'm really interested, because I'm dyslexic, I'm ADHD. Of course, I've told you before, I look at my ADHD as my superpower.
That's awesome.
Because I do so much. Because I think that's my parents' fault. My mom and dad wake up in the morning. They never stop working until they go to bed. And so I always feel like I got to be busy all the time. That's just my way. But so my ADHD lets me do that, Yeah. And in music, every time I've ever been hired for anything, or I even remember being in a symphony and I'm a very aggressive player because of it, and I try, you know, I put 150% into my music, you know, and I love it so much. And I love playing shows and playing, you know, anything. And I remember my first time in the Symphony of UTEP, there was a song and we just finished, and I threw my arms up in the air all excited, and then I looked around like, whoa, I didn't, you know, that's how passionate I am, and my ADHD helped me keep going all the time. But at the same time, I'm forgetful. I'm very forgetful. You can ask any of the students, they'll tell me, Mister, can you do this? You're going to forget. I know you're going to forget. And so I thought, you know, I need something to help me with that. Memory, you know, and I remember Seth, all of a sudden he was remembering everything. I was teaching him cello, and and his focus was so intense, you know.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I came to one of the concerts here at the school, and he actually, in a very short period of time, learned how to play the cello, and he was the second cello at one of your concerts.
Yeah, I remember I put him next to me.
Yeah,
I went up and played.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. It's amazing.
He really tried, like he really practiced, and he was serious about it. At first, I was like, I don't know, you know, because here at Da Vinci, we don't have the luxury of separating beginners from advanced.
Mm-hmm.
So he had no choice. He had to be put in an advanced class, and so he had to catch up, and he did.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed with that. Yeah, so that's what he did, and as I started noticing the difference in him. Oh, by the way, so do the girls. But anyway, and then
if any of you have seen Seth, you'll understand what he means. The guy kind of looks like a mini version of Superman, right? He's got this great hair and he's developing this great physique, and I completely understand what you're saying.
And so I just remember. So then I got with you, and I got my parents, and we went over to your business, and we had a meeting, and you explained biohacking in detail. And then I started taking it, and I started noticing. For instance, when I work out at night, I remember one time I was doing like this making my feet just go up and down like this, crazy. And I didn't used to be able to do that. And then also I would be able to work out longer stints of time, walking longer. And I'm starting to remember, like, I'm doing all this computer work all the time, and my memory is just way better. So I know that it's because of that.
Now, you had said something, you have an assistant now, right? And the assistant was trying to figure out how you can remember everything that you're doing and everything, right? Because even he can't keep up anymore.
Yeah, he called me the super teacher the other day.
That's great.
I don't know about that, but...
And you're saying that you were not able to do all of that. I mean, you were busy, but the memory and the focus...
My last... You know, I've been teaching for 25 years, and my last job in Socorro, I had 200 students, and I couldn't keep up. I couldn't. Yeah. And now here, doing, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's because... I'm sure it is because of the accent, but it's helped me a lot. I just love it.
Awesome. So... for those of you who don't really understand what we're talking about in terms of what biohacking is, biohacking is a biotechnology that addresses what molecular biologists call the 3 theories of aging, or as I like to call them, the 3 theories of aging and disease. And what we know is that because of the polluted environment that we live in, the polluted food, and all the toxins that we consume into our body, that causes something called free radicals, also known as oxidative stress. And that oxidative stress continues to circulate throughout our body. Now, over time, it starts to get stored in our body. Our body gets to the point where, as we get older, it's not able to filter out. And that's why, as we get older, we start to get things like memory fog, right? How many of y'all, right? I'm 52, so you guys that are my age, right? Start to get a little bit of memory fog. We start to put on weight because what that does is the mitochondria becomes destroyed. Or in other words, the oxidative stress starts to get processed through the mitochondria, and that causes the destruction of the mitochondria. And then that leads to a decrease in the sirtuin activity. So all of that starts to age the cells. Now, when you are a biohacker, you have the biotechnology, the capability to almost reverse that process. So you are cleaning out the oxidative stress. So all the studies, Harvard, LSU, the American Heart Association, the National Institute of Health, all of the studies show the same thing, that this reduces your oxidative stress levels by up to 70% in 120 days. That's 4 months. And then the second thing that it does is the NRF1 will start to put your cells into a state of mitochondrial biogenesis, which is the creation of newer and healthier mitochondria. And then when you can activate the NAD or their sirtuins, now you start to get a repairing of the cellular membrane, a repairing of the DNA inside of the mitochondria. So the studies are showing that when you can activate those 3 pathways, the end result is that the cell is actually younger at the end of the study than it is at the beginning of the study. Now, that's not to say that you're going to live forever, but I'm 52 years old, and every time I go back to get my blood work done, my biomarkers are all consistent with a 24 to 25-year-old man. So essentially, I have really turned back the clock. So David, I am so glad that this is working for you, and I look forward to kind of seeing you continue to grow and that your health is getting better. You've got a lot to do still. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of bands out there that still want to hear you, and we know we want to come out. As soon as this whole COVID thing is over, we're ready to go see you guys rock out in concert.
I cannot wait.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much, David. I really appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you coming out. I've even got my Fungi Mungo shirt on today. So, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Marco Rodriguez, again, happy Wellness Wednesday. And remember, as I always like to say, there is a better way to live.